Yo, it's Andre Webley. Welcome to My Block. I'm going to be the host of this podcast. This is where you're going to get some documentation of my life, my business, as well as getting some healthy tips and tricks that will help you benefit starting with your body and mind. You ready for this? Let's get it.
Yeah, it's time for that, man. It's time for that. I don't even know where I'm going with this shit. Picture me chillin', a youngin' plotting and dreaming he can achieve millions. Humble, but I know that this skill will be deemed brilliant. Damn it, I brag. Blocked out any urge to use them tablets, no iPad. And I had shorts under my jeans like 21 can break out anywhere. Ends low, aspire to bring them higher than chandeliers. Got a gut feeling like I been drinking plenty beer. I know some niggas watching and plotting, but I can't have no fear. Bitch, I come from the field, give you something to feel. Ain't fucking with no ass shots, I need something that's real. The hottest nigga bringing you an abundance of chills.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the latest edition of this podcast episode. How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing great. I know I am. And welcome back to, you already know who this is.
It's the co-host of the show, Andre Webley. How you guys doing? If you guys don't know by now, you guys can find me on every social media platform known to man, just about, with the excess of the bullshit ones like TikTok. Not there yet, but soon enough I'll be there.
So does that mean you're on Tinder?
No, I'm not. You actually deleted my Tinder like 4 months ago. No, I'm lying, probably like 2 months ago.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm out here living this life of celibacy.
Alright. Could have matched you with someone real quick, yeah?
Oh yeah? Damn, I'm looking.
Mingling, but... Alright. Damn. So, before we continue, you already know I gotta mention, iHeartRadio. I finally got
All about time, yay! Cue cheering.
Hold on.
Yeah. Man, woo! Yeah, give it up.
Alright. Enough of that. So you already know you can check me out, iHeartRadio finally, and you already know Spotify,
Speaker.
streaming source. Where else? Well, Castbox, Google Podcast, and whichever else. Anyways, so yeah. You can check me out there, and you already know if you want to leave any feedback, things like that, you can check us out on the Facebook page. It's still under the Bandman Show. I'm probably not going to change it, to be honest. So, check it out there. Let me know what's going on. You can check out my email address already. That's in the Spreaker page, and my phone numbers as well. And I'll get back to you real quick. So, without further ado, and before I continue, also wanted to mention that due to the lack of episodes, I will be putting a whole bunch, like one after the other, because sometimes they're not like downloading, or I sometimes can't do it, or some whatever crap that is that day that I have to do. So I'll be pulling them out one by one, and you'll be able to have like 10 in one shot. So just to let you guys know. Yeah, so let's get to it. What are we talking about today, Jerry?
What are we talking about today? Was it like
So we're gonna start off with how to handle criticism. It's the topic of the day, or one of the topics.
I like criticism, especially when it helps. Well, all criticism helps to a certain extent. Like, and it also depends on who you are as a person and how you're feeling about what that person is saying.
Yeah.
For me, I don't mind criticism. Like, negative, positive. I much rather negative.
Constructive.
Yeah, negative, constructive. Yeah, I much rather that because it shows me where I can minimize the damage that I'm doing in the areas that I suck in. I have this analogy of if you guys are watching on YouTube or such, I have an analogy of a bucket that has a leak in it, that has a hole in the bottom. Now, most people want to just increase their capacity and just grab a bigger bucket.
Yeah.
But with a bigger bucket comes more water, that hole starts to get bigger. Or if it doesn't get any bigger, it just leaks more water. Why? Because you have more water and your capacity is grown. what I like to think about is more or less, why not weld that patch, that hole that we already got, and minimize that from 20 down to 15, down to 10, to 5, maybe to 2. I might not be able to completely shut that hole, but as long as I'm able to minimize that and minimize the damage that I'm doing to myself and to the things that are around me, my capacity is growing anyways. Like, say if you had 80% of your tank full and you have 20 leaking out, now I have, say if I maxed it out at 18%, now I have 98% of my tank being full where I have a small leak, which is not bad because it's still telling me something is wrong, but at the same time, not as much as is wrong as getting the bigger tank and having the bigger hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to fill this up with less water because I'm doing more on the inside and I'm doing more overall. So I take criticism very well, and I try not to attach any kind of emotion to it, just because once you start attaching emotion to it, you start to feel a certain way about anything. Like if I'm mad about what homeboy said, and it could have been like, Seahawks suck. Every time somebody says the Seahawks sucks, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get that feeling that homeboy said, I'm gonna be upset. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna talk about my team. You know what I mean?
What happened in that Super Bowl, Dre?
Yo, we lost. Yo, that happened. We should have handed the ball off. We didn't do that. So you gotta be able to take criticism. I can't even say it. And yeah, right there with the Super Bowl, right? So I'm about to go in. If I'm not about to go in, but if if that pass was completed, people would have been like, I never saw that shit coming. And it'd been like, damn, that was an awesome move. They had Marshawn Lynch. They didn't run the ball. They passed it. Got a touchdown on the Patriots. What? Won the Super Bowl? Great call. But he misses it. So now you got to take the criticism that comes with it. Like, you should have handed the ball off. Well, yeah, I understand that. Like, I completely understand that. But
now they probably would have never mentioned, you should have handed the ball off had they gotten that.
no, because it would have been the greatest play. They would have just been like, okay, we're gonna go for 2 now. Like, here's Marshawn Lynch. Here you go. Like, cap this off. But
Still gonna pass it.
yeah, I know, whatever. But yeah, you gotta be able to take it, because it's only gonna make you better. If you don't know where you suck at, or if somebody doesn't let you know you suck at something, how do you know to get better at it? And you got to be exposed to certain things too. Like, you have to be able to step out your comfort zone. Like, you won't ever want to be the big fish in the small pond.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. Why? Because that leaves no room for you to grow. It leaves room for you to help people grow, but for you yourself, you're gonna want something more, because, well, you should at least want something more. In my case, I always want to succeed, and the only way for me to succeed is to see people doing it better than me, and then telling myself I could do that and I could do it better. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do what they're doing, but my standards or my goal will be set around something in my life. I'm not going to be the world's strongest man. You know what I mean? Because somebody else was. Like, no, I want to be the world's strongest man because I want to be it. You know what I mean? You're just a nice benchmark. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he did that, cool, but I'm me. And I'll be able to take the criticism that comes with it. Like, you need to do X, Y, and Z. Like, the basic stuff. Yeah, eat, work out, go to sleep, do it again, repeat. And I'm gonna be able to. You gotta take the things that you suck at. And if you guys don't know, I'm a personal trainer, but
You are?
yeah,
Wow.
right?
Where can we find
wild.
that?
You can find me on builtbyandre.net.
Okay.
Right? Oh, no, I said that wrong. Builtforthis.net. I'm so sorry. And I'm so sorry for confusing you guys, but it might be a little confusing. It's actually the number 4. Not spelt out, but the actual number 4.
And is there contact information, or is it just messaging that,
That's just an actual website where you could go, and you're going to be able to see my backstory.
Yeah.
And I'm going to upload a couple of videos to it. I haven't uploaded any videos, but I have 2 segments on there already. Just 2 small paragraphs about me, myself, and where I started. And if you guys have been listening to the podcast, or if you guys listen to me talk by myself,
Conceited.
then
You know what?
then you would have seen it, something similar to that. But going back to criticism, man.
Check them out.
Yeah. But I specialize in the things that people suck at. You know, things that people don't want to do, things that, you know, people will look at you weird for doing. One, because it makes you feel better. Two, well, me personally, it makes me feel better doing things that people can't do. Three, I don't wake up with bodily pains like in the morning. If I wake up with pain, it's only because I slept for way too long.
Yeah.
Like I sleep for like 6 hours. If I start to sleep for like 7, 8 hours, it's over for me.
So I feel like, oh man.
Yeah, like my back be hurting. But my clients have to be able to take criticism, and I never like try to harp on them about doing things incorrectly. I more or less give them room to grow. Like it's constructive criticism. All right.
Alright, so before we go on to the next topic that ties into this as well, I also want to mention something about the criticism. It's probably not going to be as long as this guy, but you know, it'll be like a 2-minute segment, whatever. So, for me, in terms of criticism.
Yeah. Constructive criticism or criticism?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're just going to talk about criticism in general.
So now I can say it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. Anyway, so there are people though that when they take positive criticism, they automatically just want to be content.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that, they say I do good, so I'm gonna do anything else. Like I'm gonna keep on working the same way I'm always gonna work. And I feel like we shouldn't be content with whatever criticism whatever good criticism we get. We should not be content. We should always try, like you said, we should always try to work better in the mastering of whatever we want to master. You know, even like for example, basketball. Like if we suck ass in basketball.
Yep, that's Andre.
I'm there too. So if we suck at basketball, we can't, we don't know how to shoot, we don't know how to dribble, we don't know how to fucking pass, we don't know how to do any of that shit. And they give us a constructive criticism and negative at the same time. Like, start working some shit.
Yo, just pass me the rock. I want to get you dribble and shoot from wherever I'm at. I'm good at shooting. That's what he said.
Just dribble the ball, learn to dribble, and we'll work on from there, Like, you should be like, you know what? I'm going to start working more on my dribbling skills. Start working on that. Oh, let me work on my passing skills, because right now I can't shoot for shit, so I'm just going to do 2 of these things.
Yeah, let me get good at the things that I don't have to score points in first.
Like, and then, obviously once you progress, you start working on other areas of your, of what you're lacking in, and that's how it should be. Like, if you get whatever it's constructive or negative, if you get either of those things, even positive as well, you should continue on achieving more and more and more in your skills and your goals and your dream, whatever it is that you're working on. You should be able to continue working that, even if you reach ultimately, continue working on that to progress in, because you never know. Like, and you got something to say real quick?
I'm getting ready to finish after you.
Okay, all right, and and people that are just so content with the positive criticism, will never get as far as a person who gets a negative criticism.
Somebody who's hungry to be better.
Because that's how I am. Like, if someone tells me, oh, you're shit, like, you're a piece of shit.
Oh, we gotta go with this guy.
My first thought was like, fuck you. I'm about to work twice as hard now, 3 times as hard. I'm about to show everyone who's boss here. Like, that's how I'm going to be. And that's how a lot of people should be. But unfortunately, because they get like, oh man, you're great. Like, oh, you're this, oh, you're that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks, man. And they just sit back and relax and don't do shit for the rest of their lives. And then they're going to end up regretting it because they're like, yo,
Never move out the town
Yeah.
because you're the big fish. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Like,
So,
I got everything I want.
And that's where it goes into that whole big fish in a small pond kind of shit.
Yeah, like
So,
man, go out, be cultured, explore. You know, like learn. Don't be shallow. Like one thing that I'm thankful for growing up is that I traveled a lot, and even for sports I traveled a lot. I traveled a decent amount, like out of town, out of the city, out of state, and it showed that kids were at a different level. There's some kids that were better than us, but we could play with them. Some kids that weren't better than us, but we blew them out.
Right,
You know what I mean? Yeah. But there was kids there that were hungry. You know what I mean? Kids there that were upset. You had some of the top kids there throwing a fit, but you had some of the kids that weren't at the top, weren't in the top 20, doing it, taking the criticism, and each game was just getting better until they peaked out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And some people peak out early, but what's good about that is that it sets a benchmark for you. Like, okay, I've done this before. I've been in this situation before. The criticism I took before helped me to get here. If you don't take that criticism positively, or if you don't try to get what the guy or person, girl is trying to say out of it, then it's hard to turn that into something that you want. It's hard to turn that into energy and motivation and ambition. And one thing I think people have a part in is the criticism you get from somebody that's constantly in your life. That has to be constructed in a way that is going to push you forward. Meaning that when you say you have a baby, your baby learns how to eat, right? Now your baby is learning how to move their muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Your baby can't walk unless it learns how, or crawl unless it learns how to use their muscles. They start to flip over, they start to do wild
so
shit.
the muscles get stronger and
Right, they start to move and then they start to walk. The same way that life is given to you in a way where it's like you learn one thing after another. The criticism has to be the same thing. The criticism has to lead somebody into a point where they're going to grow, and it goes to where my clients are. When I do with my clients, I don't ever give them something that they can't do. I give them something that's going to be challenging, but I also give them something that every now and then that would give them a run for their money. It may not be the entire exercise, but it might be one exercise out of that entire group, or the entire 4 or 5 movements that we're doing, that is going to whoop your ass, and is going to make everything else more technical than it should be. So now I want to see what you've learned. I want to see if you're balanced. I want to see if you're breathing correctly. I want to see if your form is the way that I've taught you, because you've been doing this for God knows how long now. You know, you've been looking good doing everything individually. Now let's rub your stomach and pat your head at the same time. See, can you do that? Because I showed you everything already. Now, if you can't do that, this is where I think you need to figure out. This is where I know you're messing up at. And if you could take that positively, if you could not harp on yourself, because you killed 5 out of 6 exercises. Like, you blew through 5 out of 6 exercises. You know what I mean? Your breathing was correct, your form was correct, but it was just that last movement that you had to do was just whooping your ass. You know what I mean? It was just, it's not your fault. You know what I mean? It's just, you just gotta do it more. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to take that criticism. If that person was just to stop after I told them, you know, you're good at all these things, but you suck at this one thing, it's just like, you can get better. I don't tell them they suck. It's just, you know, it's just,
people actually do good on there. Instead of saying suck.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I totally don't want to be told I suck. Because I'm just like...
And that's the end of the podcast. Thank you all for stopping by. We're over 800 episodes downloaded, and I'm super happy about that because we only have 20 episodes in. You guys have given me the confirmation to keep going. Thank you so much. If nobody's telling you this today or ever in your lifetime, I'm telling you right now. I love you. Thank you so much. You all deserve to be amazing, and you all need to go out and crush your day, your night, whatever you're doing in your life. You need to go and completely obliterate it. I don't care if you need to be obsessed with it. I don't care if you need to take time away just for you to be you. You need to be able to harness what's deep inside your heart, because it makes so much sense to do what you love. Take that and run with it. I love you all. Thank you for stopping by.